And welcome back to the Border Patrol on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Nate Bukaty with you now and joined by, I'm going to say legend. A legend. If you hit a game-winning shot in the national championship game, boom, immediate legend. That's just the way that it works. And we got that guy in studio right now. Jayhawk David McCormack. What's up, man? How are you?
What's up? It's an honor to be here. It's really a pleasure. I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm feeling great. Like I'm still feeling the remnants of that game, and it's still an amazing feeling, honestly.
Can I tell you, I've hit one buzzer beater in my entire life. I know yours wasn't technically a buzzer beater, but it was the game winner.
Right.
I hit one buzzer beater in my life. CYO, Catholic Youth Organization, Curie of ours grade school, 8th grade CYO playoffs. And the only reason that I'd gotten benched in the game because I turned it over like 5 times in a row. And the guy that went in and took my place took a charge and hit his head on the floor. And it was like a tile floor, so he got knocked unconscious. They had to put me back in the game. And at the end of the game, we were playing against Holy Spirit. Phil Hernandez kicks it out to me. I still remember it to this day. It was like 25 years ago. Swish as the buzzer went off, and we won the game. That was the 8th grade first-round playoff game, and it was like the greatest moment of my basketball career.
Honestly, I might take that over my shot. I mean, a buzzer beater right there, taking out the game, get put right back in.
Hey, carried off the court by my teammates. But here's the thing. The reason I say that is because that's what every kid who plays ball dreams of his whole life, is having a moment like that. Some of us have to go all the way back to 8th grade B-League CYO basketball. Some of us get to say, dude, I did that at the Superdome in New Orleans and won the national championship.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's you.
It's a great feeling. And the craziest part about it, which a lot of people don't know, is I called it. So that morning, actually, I was talking with one of my roommates, Joe Yesufu, and I was talking to Jalen Wilson. I was like, yo, what would you guys think? I was like, when the game's on the line, would you rather like have a big dunk or something? I was like, or would you rather have a game-winning shot? And he was like, I don't know. I'd rather do this. I'd rather do that. I was like, man, I guarantee you, if I had the ball in my hands and the game's on the line, I'm taking the shot. Like that. I was like, that's just how I feel. Game is over. They talk about it. I was like, why did you call that this morning? I was like, man, it was the confidence. It was a prophecy. I had to fulfill it.
Hey, but that is what like every great mental psychologist, sports psychologist tells you have to do is picture yourself succeeding in the moment. You have to envision it for it to happen. So when you pictured that in your mind, was it always that perfect little baby hook shot? Was it always that one? Or like, how did you see it in your mind's eye?
I saw it in a completely different shot. And if you go back any point in time in the film and look at that last possession where I caught in the post, I really wanted to go baseline side and hit like the KD turnaround fadeaway. But like I felt the way Manic was playing me, and I was like, you know what? This is the bread and butter. I've been doing this. It's my go-to unguardable jump hook, and I hit the one dribble, got contact, and it was automatic. And then on top of this, what a lot of people also don't know, people was like, you were so calm. You took your time. You were really patient. Of course, I took my time when you don't know how much time was on the clock. I go back and I watch again. I was like, yeah, time was really counting down. I was like, I can't even say it was IQ. I was like, I just kind of felt the game. I was in my element and shot it with the perfect amount of time left on the clock.
So that's the other thing I remember, because I'm clearly comparing myself to you in this whole scenario in this massive CYO basketball game. But I do remember, for me, it was, I had no idea how much time was left, but I knew there wasn't much, which was actually a good thing because I didn't have time to think about it. I just had to catch it and shoot and rely on muscle memory. I didn't have enough time. Like if you're standing at the free throw line and you got 10 seconds to think, maybe you get in your own head. But you caught that ball, and if I remember, you maybe took a couple dribbles. Like you had the ball in your hands for a few seconds. Did it seem like 30 minutes? Like what did the time frame from the moment you caught that ball and the moment that it went through the net, what does that time period feel like when you live it back in your mind?
It honestly just feels like practice. It just felt like second nature. Like you said, you don't have time to think. And what a lot of people don't understand is like you do the same moves day in and day out to perfect them without thought. And that's exactly what happened. Like I caught it. I thought of one move. I decided to go with a counter. I went to the second move, and it all happened. And the moment the ball went through the net and the moment it released from my hands, I knew it was good. Automatically, I was like, I had enough elevation. I got the right touch. I saw it go through the net. And then when I ran back, I was like, I know, guaranteed with this basket, like we're going to get the win. It was easy.
So one of the things my favorite part about going to Allen Fieldhouse, whether it's for late night's always the best one because they play a really super long version of it. But they do that Dream On video. And then like when they do the psych up before the starting lineups before every game, they play that video. And ever since 2008, you always know that Mario's Miracle is going to be one of the things. And as soon as it gets to that clip, the whole crowd starts to make noise because that's one of their greatest memories as a KU basketball fan. When did it hit you? Like in the moment, when you hit that shot, were you like, yo, I'm going to be on that video now? Or like when did that part of it sink in, the magnitude of what you had just done?
Actually, not till today. Like literally today, I was thinking about it.
It's just hitting you now. You realize
it's really just hitting me now. I was like, oh no, it's cool. I did something that's historic. It's super great for the program and everything. And then somebody was like, this is going to be my new favorite part of the hype video. And I was like, I'm going to be on the hype video forever. I was like, this is a surreal feeling. Like I'm really kind of stamped in history. And I was like, it's a feeling like I can't fully digest yet still.
Okay. So I want to take you back to a moment because this is the kind of conversation that happens between the idiot fans when we're watching the games.
I think the cultures that you're having be built.
What did I do? This is my own fault here. Okay. Sorry. I don't know how to work this stuff. All right. So I'm going back to the Sweet 16 game.
Okay.
Close game, ugly game. Like sometimes you got to win an ugly game or two to advance in the tournament, right?
Of course.
My wife's little brother was about to get married, and that night we were throwing a wedding party, and it was kind of like a wedding party / KU watch party, and it was a bunch of Jayhawk fans there. And I'm not going to call this guy out by name or anything, but he was getting mad at you in the game. He thought he was like they kept throwing it inside to you, and it wasn't clicking for you offensively at that point in the game. And he's like, why do we keep throwing it to McCormack? You know? And I said, hey, you watch. And I'm saying this is a true story. I said, this guy, like, he's going to hit some shots in this tournament that win some games for us. You know, so get off his back, you know? And so you better believe as soon as you did that, it's like right after the game I walked out, I was texting him right away. Like, hey, how you feel about McCormack now? But you probably hear that from the fans the whole time when you play under the microscope at Kansas.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
My first question was his name Charles Barkley?
I wish Charles Barkley was in my basement. That would be incredible.
No, but you always have those group of people that when things aren't going the right way, they're like, all right, cool, this is the first person I'm going to point the blame at. You know, it's kind of be the quick trigger, like he could have done this better, he could have done that better. But that comes with everything. I think the whole point of being a team is being collective and having the same mindset. So I block it out. I take it with a grain of salt because I know who I am as a player. My team knows who I am as a player. So it meant very little, and that's always the most thrilling feeling when you're like, I didn't have to tell you how good I am as a player. Yeah. You just saw it, and now you witness it, and now it's historic. Like, let alone, no matter what you say, well, he didn't do this in this game, he didn't do that in that game. You didn't get a national championship. So I think, like I said, hard work pays off, and it's just keeping the right mindset through it all.
So I think about, you talk about keeping the right mindset through it all. I've thought about players like you a lot, being a guy that's watched KU basketball my entire life. My favorite stories are the guys who didn't necessarily hit the ground as superstars right off the bat. Russell Robinson was on that other national championship team, and he wanted to transfer after his freshman year, and his dad told him, hey, stick it out. You know, you'll be glad that you did. And I remember you as a freshman, and you looked to me like a big baby deer. Like you had all the physical tools, but you were trying to get it to all line up, you know?
Exactly.
And the game was going so fast for you at that time. And you stuck with it. And especially, I think about that a lot in today's world, and I'm glad the players have the freedom to go find the right place for them. But I wonder if those guys will ever get the satisfaction that somebody like you got of going through that whole process and then having it culminate. And not everybody's going to have it culminate the way that yours did. But when you look back on that journey, did you ever come close? And maybe you've talked about this before, but did you ever come close to thinking, I got to go somewhere else? Or did you stick it out and you knew this was the path? And how glad are you now that it worked out the way that it did?
No, for sure. I definitely had those thoughts and definitely took that into consideration. I think through my 4 years there, I definitely learned how to have a strong mental fortitude and just to be patient with the process and everything. Like going into my freshman year, I was playing behind Doak, but Doak was a great player. He was a great big. He was really dominant. So I was like, all right, cool. Doak's done with this year. Now I'm going to go into my sophomore year. It's going to be great. Unfortunately, Doak had his injury, so he came back the following year. Again, Doak came back even better. Like, he was so dominant. And I was just like, we were playing together, and I was like, all right, cool. I can't be that guy quite yet. And I was like, I thought I was going to be able to do this coming in. I thought I was going to be able to do that. But you know what? Let me stick it out, be patient with the process. I know it'll pay off. It's really hard. And I just kind of stayed calm, stayed cool, stayed collective with my core group. And I was like, just see it through. It's going to make you better in the long run. I was like, all right, fine, I'll do that. I go to my junior year. Then not only did COVID hit, but at the same time, I was battling through an injury at that time. So then I'm coming up to my senior year, and then my whole junior transition into senior summer was I felt like I was kind of dropping behind because I was just trying to work day in, day out, get back with this injury. And if you talk to Coach Self or any of my teammates, I'm getting treatment 3 hours before practice, consistently just trying to make sure I could be on the court and play. And then through the senior year, just battling, mentally staying strong, playing how I can, not having the greatest games. And then all that to pay off when you're on the biggest stage in college basketball. Everything that led up to that moment brought me to that point to do what I was meant to do.
Dude, and I'm glad you mentioned that battling through the injury part, because when I worked in college athletics for 14 years and got to become really good friends with like the training staff. And those are the people on the crew that they don't get any of the love, and they're doing it for 15 people on the team, right? So, their hours are incredible, the hours that they work. But I also think that the average fan doesn't probably understand how many things that a player does to make sure that they're able to get out on the court on a daily basis. And you're a perfect example of that. And you don't want to talk about it publicly because you don't want the other side to know that you're dealing with an injury,
right? Exactly. Like you get in, so we have practice, lift at 2, practice at 3, but then, you talk to your training staff and you're like, all right, cool. Well, I got to get in at 11 a.m. Then you do all your treatment beforehand. You get your body warmed up. You do your lift. You do your practice. Then you do your cool down. Then you still have to get to your treatment afterwards to make sure nothing is too aggravated, too sore. You didn't progress any injury to make it worse, like all the little things. And then on top of that, you still want to make your game better. So you still want to get in and get your extra shots, your extra workouts. So you're in all the time just to feel like you're only even. You're only breaking even at the end of the day. And a lot of people don't think about that. And you can't necessarily express it and tell everybody like, hey, can you be patient with me? I'm trying to get through all these things. They're just like, nah, we need you to perform. But that it comes with the territory, and I respect it. And that's why I just did what I had to do in order to have the outcome that we did as a team. Okay,
so we're visiting with David McCormack, and now the next chapter.
Yes, sir.
Come to Beşiktash. I just showed you those videos that you hadn't seen those before, had you?
No, it's the first time.
So Beşiktaş, I'm the nerd on this show that loves soccer. So I know Beşiktaş because it's a massive soccer club. But over in Europe, you see like Barcelona. They have obviously the amazing soccer team, but they have an amazing basketball team too. So there's a lot of that over there. What do you know about Beşiktaş? And tell me about the decision and what you're looking forward to.
Beşiktaş was a great opportunity. It's a very quick turnaround. I'm leaving like this Tuesday, but I'm so thrilled to go there. Like not only for those who don't know, it's in Istanbul. It's a beautiful city. It's right on the water. And then the organization itself, the club itself, has had historic players. It had players like Allen Iverson, Deron Williams. And then this year, when I'm going over, I get to play with teammates that I've had. Matt Coleman, who played at Texas, which was my high school teammate, I get to play with. Like, there's a chemistry there. They just have a great club as well. Also, for those who don't know, I actually got in contact with Dedrick Lawson, who's in my freshman year. He played there last year.
Okay.
So, like, I got a lot of good insight. I had a lot of amazing feedback. Like, I'm looking forward to it, and definitely diving into the culture, into the atmosphere. Like, it's going to be amazing.
I mean, Istanbul's a place that I've always thought, like, that's a bucket list place to go to because that is Asia meets Europe meets the Middle East almost. And It's this confluence of all these great cultures. Hagia Sophia is like one of the most amazing, architectural structures in the world that I want to go visit. I have to come watch you play and visit.
Dude,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I've talked to my family and everything. Like, they're already excited to come as well. They're like, oh, well, let me know when it's a good time to come. I'm going to come see you. I was like, I love you all, but I haven't even left myself yet.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. So I'm just ready to dive. Like I always say, I'm diving 2 feet in, and I'm going to embrace it. And I'm just looking forward to it and loving it.
And I'm trying to remember, you guys as a basketball team, did you go to Europe once or twice while you were playing at KU?
They did the year before I got
so you
there.
Never did.
I never did. I did it separately.
Okay.
I did it separately. Coach Self sent me out with a program.
Okay.
But this is how crazy clubs do their research. So, of course, you don't want to go into a club or organization without them knowing about you first, because you don't want to go into anything blind.
Right.
So I was describing my game to the coach, and he actually like somewhat cut me off. He was like, no, I understand who you are as a player, but let me tell you this. I was going into my freshman year. I wasn't even considered a freshman yet at Kansas, and I played like in the Netherlands. I was in Germany, in Brussels, doing small games around there. He's like, I knew about your game and all that back then. Like, I saw your game, my senior development all through the years. Like, I want you to know that we've watched film and take time and invest in who you are as a player and still want to help you grow. So that definitely put my mind at ease as a player, and I was already at ease as a person about the coach and everything else.
That's incredible. And now you're going to get to see a part of the world that you wouldn't have seen before and get paid to do it and doing something that you love. I mean, that's pretty cool.
You can't beat that. And the best part about it is my mom always makes jokes. So I don't know about other players, but at least for me, you give so much of your time into basketball, into development, into getting better that you really don't have time for anything else. You make plenty of sacrifices. Growing up as a teenager, all my friends were doing this, doing that. They had jobs. I've never had like a real job. She was like, how does it feel? This is your first real job, and you're going all the way across the world, and you get to do what you love. And I was like, this right here explains how much of a blessing this is, an opportunity this is. And like I said, I'm just so looking forward to it.
Hey, I feel that way about this profession, and I'm over almost a quarter of a century into it, and I think that mindset is the key to doing it at the best of your ability. If you feel that way, you feel like you're lucky to do it, and you pursue it because you love it, you're gonna do great. And I know that you got a whole army of Kansas fans here that are going to be rooting for you, man. Come to Beşiktaş.
Come to Beşiktaş.
We got to get a video of you doing that. Hey, seriously, man, I couldn't be happier for you. I love seeing guys. Like, to me, my favorite part about sports is when people, it's those stories of human perseverance, of sticking with something and seeing them achieve amazing team objectives, but also individual objectives through all of it. And I just think you're a perfect example of it. You're the kind of person I tell my kids, like, hey, man, look at what that guy did, and I can't pay you a higher compliment. So congratulations on everything. Good luck at Beşiktaş. And stay in touch with us, man. Don't forget about us here in Kansas, all right?
Lawrence is always the second home. Come on now. I love Kansas.
All right. Hey, David McCormack here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. We'll be back after this.